Donald Trump. So, my opinion of Donald Trump. I like him. I like Donald Trump. The reason I like Donald Trump is because he's not afraid to say whatever's on his mind. He is not, how should I put it? He's not afraid of the media. In fact, he speaks out against the media. And I think that alone is the reason why he is so popular and successful amongst the people of the United States. Because the American people, I don't believe, are stupid. I believe that they are smart, and I believe that they're waking up and they're realizing that the media is dishonest, that they're corrupt, and that really the only thing that they care about is ratings. And if you've watched any of the debates, there's a striking difference between the Democratic debates and the Republican debates. And one of the primary differences is the fact that in the Democratic debates, the moderators will ask the Democrats good questions that try to get to the meat of the issue. There's a lot of substance. Whereas the moderators of the Republican debate will ask the Republicans questions to try to get them to attack each other. And it's a complete waste of time because the American people don't want to be watching politicians and people fighting with each other on stage. They want some candidate who's going to speak the truth and do what they say they're going to do. And that's why you see Ted Cruz going way, way up in the polls behind Donald Trump as well, because he has a proven track record. And he has shut down the government, and Congress hates him because he's one of the few that are actually trying to stop the corruption. So you can completely see through the media, and you can see the media for what it is. Now, with that being said, I thought it was completely ridiculous of how Donald Trump said that he wanted to put a temporary ban on Muslims entering into the country because he wants to make the country safe. And to just let anybody come over here when we don't know who they are is dangerous. And because we already have 11 million illegal immigrants here in the United States, we need to find out who they are, and we need to take care of them really before we should be letting anybody else come into the country, because that's just compounding on top of the problem that we already have. And so it simply wouldn't make any sense to continue to allow people to come over and over and over. So I thought what he proposed was a very good idea, and I think that it was a very good strategy to keep people safe. And yet the media totally disregards and misrepresents Donald Trump of what he actually was proposing and deems him Hitler, deems him this crazy, terrible person because he wants to use some common sense and keep the American people safe. And you have people calling him douchebag, and you rarely have people that would rather have Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders be their president. Folks, Bernie Sanders apparently said that the reason that ISIS attacked Paris is because of global warming. Now, anybody with half a brain knows that that is completely ridiculous. That it is not because of global warming. The Earth goes through climatic changes. I, for one, don't really believe in all of the global warming hype. I believe that the Earth goes in cycles. So we have warm periods and we have cold periods. But I don't want to dive into all of that because I think most people are smart enough to realize that. And that a lot of the global warming is all just a political agenda served for whatever their destructive purpose is. So I thought that that was a good proposal by Trump. I thought it was a smart move. I think he has a good tax plan. I also think Ted Cruz has a good tax plan. There's a lot of really good Republicans running. And I think that Trump is good in the sense that he is aggressive. He does have a lot of energy. He could take on Hillary Clinton, and I do think that he could beat her. You know, so, you know, Trump obviously has created a successful business. He's a multi-billionaire, you know. He's good with money. But I think that if a Ted Cruz was his vice president, it would kind of balance his aggression a little bit out, and he would be helped on foreign policy. So I think that would be a smart thing. And I think that they're kind of working together, and we might see that as time goes on. You know, one thing that the Democrats are doing is they're trying to paint this beautiful picture of how they want to give everybody free college, free health care, and $15 minimum wage for everyone. But they don't talk about how they're going to pay for it. And any of their explanations would be kind of like, well, we're going to take money from the 1% of the people. So they're going to take money away from successful business people that have made a lot of money. They're going to punish them so that they can give it to the poor. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think that's fair. I don't think that people should be punished because they created a lot of money through legal means. I think first and foremost, if you want people to make more money, is you need to first address the debt. You need to cut all this unnecessary spending in government and eliminate certain departments of the government that are not needed, such as the Department of Education, because there's countries that spend far less, apparently, in education than we do in the United States, and they're far smarter than we are. So we spend all this money, and yet we're very low as far as education is concerned. So that's not helping us one bit. And I think Trump is spot on when he says that we need to secure the border. We have all of these illegal Mexican crossing the Mexican border because there's no wall there. That's just a little fence, and they can just walk right over. Now, I've never been to the border, but I believe it. And I think that if there was like over 100-foot wall, that it would make it a lot more difficult for people to just come on over. And so I think that it's a good thing. And if they could make a Great Wall of China, and if Israel has a wall and it helps them, it certainly would help our case. But yet the Obama administration and the Democrats really don't care about any of that. They would rather just have people continue to come on in, and you know, and he's right. If we don't take care of this illegal immigration thing, we won't have a country. So we need to secure our borders, and that I think is a good thing. It's like back in the old medieval days, you had a castle, you would sometimes have a wall, you would have a fortress, and you would protect that castle because you knew that if you just let people come on over in, they would basically gobble up all the resources, and they would leave everybody with nothing, and it would just be chaos, and there would be no law, and there would be no order. So defense is very important, and you know, we need to bring a lot of our troops back. We need to build our military, but doing so within our means, because if we don't have the amount of money to spend, we shouldn't be doing it. We should be trying to address the debt, but at the same time, trying to protect and keep our country safe. So I think Donald Trump is a good candidate. I don't think that he is perfect, obviously. There are some things that I don't like about him. He says that he is a Protestant, Presbyterian Christian. I don't really believe that Donald Trump is really Christian. I don't think that he takes Christianity super serious. He said that he doesn't need God's forgiveness. Well, we all need God's forgiveness because not one of us is perfect. One of the negative things I also see in Trump is that he is very arrogant and he's very proud. You know, they say pride comes before fall. But I understand his mentality for doing that is to try to get us into the mentality of winning, because he says we are always losing as a country. So I can understand him with that sort of mentality. I don't like how he makes fun of other people, how he, mocks other people, such as Ben Carson, laughing about how Carson was stabbed in the belt buckle and then he found God in the bathroom. I don't think you should discredit anybody's testimony of becoming a Christian, especially so when you weren't there and you don't know the situation. So I think Trump was definitely wrong in that regard. And in a lot of senses, he is kind of like a celebrity, and it is a lot of it is like a sitcom. But from those things aside, I think that, he probably means well, and, I would only hope that he actually does what he says he's going to do if he does win. And I would hope that for anybody that runs for president. I think it's terrible that Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are self-proclaimed socialists. I think that is just absolutely crazy. And, it's been shown that every time that, minimum wage goes up, unemployment also follows suit. It also goes up as well. So when Bernie tells you that he wants to make sure everybody gets $15 minimum wage, think about where that money's coming from, and also think about the unemployment that will cause. And there's a nice graph that I can put in the description box down below that can show you guys that is actually the case. Fortunately, a lot of Americans are ignorant about a lot of these things, and they just believe and listen to whatever the candidates will tell you because it sounds really good, but that's how they're going to get their vote. A lot of people will probably vote for Hillary simply because she's a woman, just like a lot of people voted for Obama because he was black. And that's the only thing they voted on. You need to vote based on the person's track record. You need to vote based on what they're saying, and have they actually done what they said they were going to do. And that's why people like Ted Cruz are an excellent candidate to vote for. So with that sums up my review of Trump. Do I think he's going to win? I think he has a really good shot at winning. I also think Ted Cruz has a really good shot at winning. But perhaps I'm wrong about both of them and somebody else will win. All I know is that I hope that Hillary or Bernie Sanders does not win. I don't think it would be good for us to have another Democrat. That's my opinion. We do not want to become a socialist country. I know we already have a lot of, we're already basically headed in that way. But with that, if you liked the video, please please subscribe, and let me know what you think down below in the description box. Who do you like? Who would you want to be president? And with that, see you later.